It's no secret agriculture fuels Nebraska's economy, and ethanol in recent years has helped fuel growth in corn prices. That industry, though, has suffered some challenges. Marylyn Barnett has more.
Explain the status of ethanol industry here. What's going on with it?
The ethanol industry continues to be very innovative about the process that it's going through. We currently today blend about 10% ethanol in almost every gallon across the United States. So the market, which has grown just within the last 10 years of our operation from probably about 2 billion gallons up to a little over 13 billion gallons is utilized today. Mm-hmm. So we look at it nationwide. There's almost 200 ethanol plants across the United States. Total capacity is about 15 billion gallons. So I think that's really the source of the bad news is we've overbuilt the industry for the market that we're at today. What you have seen over time is gasoline demand as a nation has dropped. We reached our peak, I think, back in about 2008. We've continued to decrease to where we're about a market of 136 billion gallons of gasoline used in a year. Wow. And we're 10% of that. Mm-hmm. We have the capacity to produce even more. And the difficulty that the industry's been under is we just grew too far, too fast, and we need the market to catch up with us.
Because in the beginning, there were ethanol plants popping up all over the place.
Oh, absolutely. There was tremendous development back in the mid 2000 and 2005 to 2008. Today, there are plants that continue to be opportunistic, including our facility, which has purchased interest in 2 other ethanol plants and currently working on a third. So we continue to be optimistic about the ethanol industry. We think that long term it offers great value. I think when you look at the industry as an economic engine, it's tremendous. Mm-hmm. We've added, as an industry, a tremendous amount to GDP. Our facility has added a tremendous amount to the local economy. Right. We continue to pay over $1 million a year in property taxes.
And you can see that opportunity not just for you guys here, but like you said, our consumers and even our farmers out there too. Because some of them that they've been running into, and not to bring other plants into it, but some they've been closing down, and we hear about that happening, and then farmers get in trouble. Does that mean that they shouldn't contract with ethanol plants anymore? What are you hearing that?
Well, I think there's always a lot of question on counterparty risk from the farmers, but that exists whether it's a local elevator or it's an ethanol plant, and I think that clearly in the ethanol industry today, as long as we remain in a 13 billion gallon market, you need to be a low-cost producer. And we just finished up another profitable year. We need to continue that. But one of our focus has been to maintain a strong balance sheet. Mm-hmm. And we think that our customers that sell us corn appreciate that because they have that that confidence long term and that we're going to be here. We continue to buy corn for this harvest and next harvest. Mm-hmm. But I think you bring up a good point when you look at the fact that there has been a tremendous amount of news about ethanol because of the short crop this last year. Still a big crop, just not as big as it had been in the past. The interesting thing about it, as we look forward, the potential for large carryovers again is tremendous. With the number of acres that are projected to be planted for corn this year, plus the demand side of it, there will be a lot of carryover. And I think long term we need to make sure that the ethanol industry is sound financially so that there continues to be demand long term for that.
Next week on the program, Marylyn Barnett has part 2 of this interview, looking at the consumer side of ethanol. We'll talk about the finger pointing between ethanol and big oil next week right here on the program. But coming up next, Emily Roller's in with a look at your forecast, and you sent us pictures. We'll share them with you right here on the program. Stay tuned.